While traveling to California, a married couple's vehicle breaks down on a remote desert highway. The wife accepts a ride from a truck driver to seek assistance in the next town while the husband remains behind. When the couple fails to reunite at a designated location, the husband begins a frantic search for his missing wife despite a lack of assistance from local residents or law enforcement. Now that's my breakdown of Breakdown. Ray, what's your breakdown of Breakdown?
Okay. Sing along with me.
Okay.
Come listen to a story about a man named Jeff. His wife disappeared with a trucker named Red. Jeff came to look for her. No one knew a thing. But don't worry, folks. I won't spoil the ending. Breakdown. There we go. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you. Here all week. Thank you. Please sit down. Please. No standing ovation.
Yeah, y'all are too kind.
Thank you.
He did just write that song, though. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Forgotten Films. My name is Jed.
My name is Aaron Ray Ballard.
But I'm going to call him Ray because that's what I've always called him. So, Ray, why don't you explain what you consider to be a forgotten film?
I consider myself a movie nerd. I go to the movies every weekend. I watch a lot of movies, but I know a lot of people out there are casual moviegoers. They might go see a handful of movies a year. And for those people, for people like me to mention a movie like Breakdown, most people probably won't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Or you remind them, hey, it's got Kurt Russell and his car breaks down and his wife disappears. And oh, I remember that.
I remember seeing the trailer for that.
And so it's just one of those, the casual moviegoer may have forgotten these movies, but I think they're important to remember.
And now, there are many versions of what a forgotten film could be. So a forgotten film for me could also be one of those times where I'm just like, okay, so have you ever heard of this movie Breakdown? And they say, no. It's like, all right, well, it happened in the 90s and had Kurt Russell with fantastic hair driving a Jeep. And, a lot of it takes place in the desert kind of area. And once again, it's just usually a blank stare on their face. And that's usually whenever I know that I've got a good forgotten film, one that I am passionate about that nobody seems to remember. That is my definition of a forgotten film. There are many definitions for forgotten films. Each episode will try to go into more detail of why we think it is a forgotten film. But because everybody's new to this one, this is what we're doing with this one. Yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a good reminder.
Yeah.
Or an introduction.
Yep.
It could be the first time you've ever heard of it, first time you've ever seen it. So,
and just before we go any further, this is going to be a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the film and we've just turned you on to it, just by the pitch and the song, the beautiful song, that hopefully will be available for a digital download at some point,
Spotify.
Then go ahead and go watch the film and then come back and listen to this. But if you don't mind listening to some spoilers, then just as long as you've been warned, there is a spoiler alert. We try to keep them light, but the whole premise of this one is it happens pretty quick. So, the warning is there. Okay. So we're going to discuss the movie Breakdown, starring Kurt Russell and Kathleen
Quinlan.
Thank you. J.T. Walsh and M.C. Gainey. It's 93 minutes long. It's rated R. And it took place in 1997. Who was it that directed the movie again?
His name is Jonathan Mostow.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his last name.
Stranger in Mostow. Go see the Thriller movie if you haven't seen it too, by the way. Okay, so his name again was what?
Jonathan Mostow.
And did he just direct it, or was
he co-wrote it and directed it?
See, that's not a normal thing in Hollywood.
No.
By the way. Just so you know. That's not a normal thing in Hollywood. So that's very cool.
And he got the job despite having 0 credits except for a TV movie or two.
That's another thing that's crazy is you get to write and direct a major motion picture when you have nothing else to your name cinema wise.
Yeah, he handed out a reel to a producer who worked for Dino De Laurentiis.
That's the producer?
He's the producer along with his wife.
Okay.
They're behind a lot of great and terrible movies.
Yes.
We could go through that, just to be a show on its own.
That's true.
Basically, any Stephen King movie you saw in the 80s.
Yeah.
The original King Kong, well, not the original, but the remake King Kong with Jessica Lange.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did Flash Gordon. He did Conan the Barbarian. So he's done a lot of great movies and a lot of terrible movies. This is one of their better ones. But,
I agree.
But he impressed them enough that they wanted to work with him. And so he wanted to make a movie out of the short story Trucks by Stephen King.
Right.
Which I think some people would know that it's already been made into a movie called Maximum
Overdrive, right.
Directed by Stephen King himself.
Mm-hmm.
But that fell through. But he had already gone through the emotions of looking at locations in New Mexico and looking into casting. And the movie was almost getting made when it was pulled. And so he kind of, because he was already in New Mexico, already thinking locations, he wrote this movie because it was filmed in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And
some of it was filmed in New Mexico.
Some of it. And they ended up making the film Breakdown, which, again, unheard of for an unknown director with hardly any credits to his name to be able to do that.
Yeah, to helm a major motion picture. So very cool. But so they produced it. And speaking of shooting locations, when we were watching it, Moab, Utah is one of the locations we could definitely see in there. And they also shot some of it in California, lots of different locations in California. Of course, this is back when most films were filmed in California. And the only time you went anywhere else was just because you wanted the physical locations of like Moab, Utah in the background. One thing that is funny to point out, the minute that, and we'll get into it here in a little bit, the minute that he goes searching later, they tell him to meet up, like I said in the intro, to meet at a separate location. The minute that that the shot goes to that second location, all of the mountainscape is gone.
Yep.
I've been in that area. You don't lose those mountains that quick. Not in that 20-minute drive. No. I just thought that was interesting while watching it. But yes, so that's the cast and the crew. Amazing time, 90s for Kurt Russell. He was in his prime hair-wise.
He had the best hair in the business. Seriously. Farrah Fawcett, Kurt Russell. Man.
And that's and the style at the time was long hair on guys. Man, I miss those times when we could grow our hair out long and it didn't have any gray in it.
Let's talk about what makes this movie really good.
Okay.
And that's once it gets started, and I would say that once the plot kicks in, which basically, if you listen to the intro, this couple are traveling across the country. They're going to California. Their car breaks down in the middle of the desert, and a trucker pulls up, and the wife decides to go with the trucker to the next town. And the husband, Kurt Russell, agrees to stay behind at the car.
Idiot move, first of all.
Idiot move. Friendly trucker, still idiot move.
Idiot move.
But when he goes into town to reunite with his wife, no one knows who she is. No one's ever seen her. No one's ever seen him. He thinks he's going crazy. Everyone thinks he's crazy. Mm-hmm. Once that kicks in, it's just nonstop action and suspense, and it's a thrill ride to the very end. It's 90 minutes, 93 minutes long. It is literally like a roller coaster. Yes. Once it gets going, and it's just an exciting film to watch. And it's very suspenseful, and the intensity will get to you. It's just a terrific movie.
I know that Kurt Russell had said that when he was making this movie, that this was like his most, stressful movie, just because most of the entire movie he is in a state of panic and suspense and just, turmoil, and it definitely comes across the screen. You definitely feel for this man.
Yes,
that's for sure. See, I don't know if you can see in the poster. I know our listening audience can't, but if you look at the poster online, or if you're watching online, this poster that he's on, you can almost see the sweat and the rolling down the front of his face, and he has that look almost the entire time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So here's you mentioned they break down, hence the name of the movie. A friendly trucker comes and offers to give him a ride. Both of them a ride.
He's kind of insisted that both of them go.
Yes, he's insisting that both of them go. The guy wants to stay with his vehicle, brand new vehicle, and in case somebody else comes along that can jump him or whatever. The wife goes with the trucker, once again, 20-minute town away, right, to a diner that they're going to meet up at. Hey, Ray, it's 2026 as of right now. How come they didn't just use their cell phone? You know, all of our cell phones have satellite connections pretty much, so there are no dead zones. Why didn't they just make a phone call with a convenient cell phone?
That's a good question. 1997, were there a lot of cell phones around?
There were not. For our younger listening audience, there were not a lot of cell phones. And the ones that you did have were about the size. I wouldn't say like Michael, what's the big famous one from Wall Street?
Oh,
Michael Douglas?
yeah, Wall Street.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas holding the big, what they call the brick.
The brick.
It's not quite the brick. It's a flip phone. So it's like half a brick that flips.
Yeah. And no matter what, back then, coverage across America, very spotty.
That's right. There was a thing back in the day. Nobody hardly even remembers it now. But there was a thing called, there was dead zones. We still have those. But, you go, 2 or 3 feet and you've got another spot. You're fine. You got another bar. Back then, not the same. You had what was called roaming, and roaming charges were a bitch. They were really, really expensive for one. And then two, once you're out in the mountains, you really have nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think it's that way anymore, but in 1997, it sure was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yes, no cell phones in this movie because there were hardly any.
There's a cell phone in there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, like I said, he
forgot.
has a little like a half brick, flip phone Motorola.
Oh, but it doesn't.
But
that's right.
But he uses it one time and hardly gets a signal. Once again, keeps breaking out. But and this is another classic for all the younger listeners. They use more payphones than they do cell phones in this movie, and it wasn't even a quarter yet. It was 20 cents to make a phone call.
Wow.
At a payphone.
And a payphone is a phone that actually exists. It used to exist.
It looks like it's grown and sprouted out of the ground and has a nice protective covering on it.
And you actually there was a dial on it that you put your finger in with numbers, and you actually had to turn it, believe it or not.
Some of them you turned. I don't know if this one
maybe it had buttons.
Pad, but
maybe it had a pad button, but
still, it's definitely a relic from the past.
And it took you like 30 minutes to dial a number.
And if you had a 0 in your number,
oh yeah,
damn you.
Exactly, you could break a finger.
So yes, especially if you're watching this film, if you do watch this film, you'll be instantly reminded of how much technology has changed our lives for the better, and how this movie would be over in about a minute and a half.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise,
you would just search for her on her phone.
That's right. Yes. Find my
wife. Yeah, find my wife on the app.
She's got an AirTag on her keys.
Instead of 93 minutes, have been 7 minutes.
That's right. That's right. It would have been an Instagram or YouTube short film.
Yeah. Yeah. Breakdown. I lost my wife for a few minutes.
Oh man, would not have been as memorable. I don't think.
Well, let's talk about. You'll meet certain characters in this movie. Kurt Russell, of course, plays the husband. Kathleen Quinlan, who you may remember from Apollo 13, she played Tom Hanks' wife in that. She's been in a bunch of movies. Event Horizon. She's been in the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Twilight Zone, the movie. Great, another great film.
And she plays his wife. I want to mention, especially J.T. Walsh, one of my favorite character actors.
Yes.
In the, I would say, late 80s, all through the 90s, he was in everything. Deservedly so. And he was always terrific.
Yes, he's a very good character actor.
And this movie just happens to be the last movie that came out that, because he filmed it. By the time the film came out, he was still alive.
Yep.
This was the last movie that he was still alive for when it was released.
Yep. He died, I think, a year later. I think in 98, I think is when he died.
Yeah, died at a very young age.
Yeah, I do remember that. Because I had not seen a whole lot of films with J.T. Walsh in it before this. But after watching this film, I became a fan. and then, reverse engineered all of his,
Yes.
filmography at that point. So it did hit me hard whenever he did pass away, whenever I heard about that, because I was like, man, I just got through this past year watching all of his films, So yeah, that was a hard hit. But man, what a legacy.
Yeah.
What a legacy to leave.
Yeah. And I don't want to suggest that he always played bad guys. He just, when he did, he was always a terrific bad guy.
Yes.
Very good bad guy.
He can play a good menacing character, but believably innocent.
Yes.
And that's definitely a credit to just his look and his style of acting altogether.
And then Kurt Russell's always been one of my favorite actors, which is why I'm always happy when he's in a film that does well.
Right.
Because he's in a lot of movies, believe it or not. A lot of the movies that he's been in that we all know him for didn't do well at the box office. I mean, you could go through the list. The Thing flopped at the box office.
Which is
Big Trouble in Little China
crime.
flopped.
Which is a crime.
Very few films of his made money. And every once in a while, he put out a film that would make money.
But he's also, I mean, it's like one of those things where he's almost a bankable cult film actor.
Yes.
Almost kind of like, but before Bruce Campbell kind of became that kind of persona, Kurt Russell was that guy.
Right.
But I think that's also a good credit to your name. Even if your movie is not a box office success, which is what the studios immediately want, from an acting and directing and producing standpoint, you definitely want to be a part of a cult classic.
Yes.
You almost strive for that.
Yes. And then most of those films that we're talking about, like Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing, he definitely has just a big personality.
Yes.
This movie Breakdown there's almost none of that in there.
Right.
There's not a lot of humor, not a lot of his trademark kind of humor. He definitely is, like Jed said earlier, frantic through the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different performance from him.
Yeah. And he's not quite as intense as in like him from Escape from New York. He's not immediately like menacing or like
he's
I
a
wouldn't
good
want to
guy.
cross that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He's a decent guy.
Approachable demeanor in this film, which was, I think, once again, pretty good casting on his part, on the director's part. Just because it was a change of pace, yet once you start watching the movie, you're like, okay, yeah, an action star had to be the person to fill this role.
Yes, yes. And he's always been one of our best action stars.
Yes.
One of our more relatable.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely never played a Superman. He's always played the every guy. And I've always liked him for that. He never became a Superman. The closest he came to was Tango and Cash, which was like a cartoon.
Well, when you said Superman kind of thing, I immediately thought of his character in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Or Sky High.
Superhuman.
Yeah.
Superman. But you're talking about like how they got ridiculous in the third and fourth and fifth and sixth or whatever Die Hard movies, where you jump a car and then jump that car onto a plane. Well, superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the action in this movie is very grounded.
Yes, very grounded.
Seemed like it could happen to anybody. There's nothing too outlandish,
which makes it way more relatable.
Yes, very relatable.
Yeah, I agree. What was the thing that you liked the most about this film?
I could easily pick Kurt Russell or J.T. Walsh, but I'm going to go with the director, Jonathan Mostow, considering, again, he'd made a couple of TV movies.
Right.
This is like his first big feature film. And he did a great job, considering that he co-wrote it and directed it. It was like his first major film. And so...
That usually only happens on like indie projects.
Exactly. So for him to be able to go to make this huge film that, it cost like $36 million to make, ended up making like $50.2 million.
Yeah.
But for him to just kind of jump in there and make this kind of film, this good of a film, this great of a film, almost first time out.
Right.
Unheard of. Spielberg had to get started small. Most directors had to get started small. This guy seemed like he just came right out of the box.
Yeah, swinging.
Yeah. And then after that, I think this is kind of the highlight of his career too. I think it's his best film. He went on to do a submarine film with Matthew McConaughey, U-571.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he did Terminator 3. which had the female Terminator in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just think Breakdown is his first and best film.
Anything after the second Terminator is kind of,
Yeah.
but we digress. We're not talking about Terminator.
Well, what was your favorite part?
Well, there was a lot of favorite things, but without getting into too much spoilers, J.T. Walsh, of course, I always like myself a good villain, and just us saying that he's the villain's not really telling you a whole lot. It kind of tells you that in the description. He's the truck driver, that takes off. But just performance wise, I mean, just he's one of my favorite kind of villains. Somebody who's real. That you can really see this happening.
Can we give away a little bit?
What do you want to say?
He's a man that really loves what he's doing.
Yes, he revels.
Like there's no effort. He's not conflicted.
Right.
He's not haunted.
No.
He's pretty proud of what he's doing.
Yes.
They have the reason why they're doing what they're doing, and that they're not ashamed of it. And I love that. Usually they play very conflicted characters that don't want to be, or they're pushed into doing something, or
right.
they don't want to do something.
The movie will show you, oh, this is why this person is so troubled. They've had a whatever past, or they've had, no. Guy's a truck driver. He's just like, IDGAF.
Yeah. And I don't want to harp on the old Southern, the way the Southern people look at the North, the way the North looks at the South. That's kind of what's going on in this film a little bit, but it's not done in a way that's cliche.
Right. Yes. I see what you're saying. I mean, it's North versus South, East versus West in that kind of way, but not so much in your face. It's just kind of mentioned, know. But yes, it's not quite as intense as what's the one with the banjos?
Deliverance.
Deliverance.
It's not Deliverance level.
It's not Deliverance level.
No. No.
It's way more approachable.
Yeah.
So, keep that in mind. But yeah, absolutely agree.
What's your least favorite thing?
Least favorite thing about the movie. I come from a family of law enforcement, and the guy that plays the cop in the movie is a recognizable face. You'll have seen him from other movies. Just not somebody I'd want on my case. Let me rephrase that. Not like on your case. Like I wouldn't want him investigating something on my behalf.
Yes. Right. Now, if I committed a crime, I'd want him on my case. Because he would never find me.
But he doesn't even play it like it's, like it's lackadaisical. It's very like by the book, but it's also like skipping steps from the book, if that makes sense, right? So he's skipping steps that he should absolutely take to go along this. But I will say one thing, even though it's something that's my least favorite thing about it, this movie throws in a lot of misdirection.
Yes.
You don't know if the cop is in on it or not.
Exactly.
So you don't know. You're like, oh, that's why he maybe is not doing this and that. So I'll give that kind of credit to it. Maybe the film doesn't make him do that because they want you to think he may or may not be a part of this ring or whatever,
Right.
So, just with a grain of salt, that's the thing I don't like about it. What about you? What's your least favorite thing?
To me, this film doesn't really have any weaknesses.
No?
It's pretty solid.
Fine. I'm out of here.
I couldn't think. I can't. Usually I can pick something. There's always something. There's at least one scene, one character, something that I can go, ooh. But this film, it's just well made. Just extremely real. Thank you. Thank you.
Nothing bad to say. On the very first Forgotten Films, he has nothing bad to say about it.
Okay, when I went to see this movie, the person I was with, they sucked. That's my least part of this film.
We'll take it. We'll take that. The audience, do you agree? They agree.
Yeah. All right.
They're fine with it.
Yeah.
See, as long as the audience agrees, I'm fine with it too. So,
that person should be forgotten. I'm just saying.
that person hopefully is not listening to the podcast.
Probably won't.
Okay, so why do you think that this is a forgotten film?
there's a lot of great movies that came out that year. It's easy for it to get lost. It was a sleeper hit. I mean, it made money. It didn't make a lot of money.
Right.
But there's just so many films that came out that year. Titanic,
Oh, wow.
Air Force One, Austin Powers, all these movies that
Right.
came out and are like classics. And
Ones that are not forgotten films.
yeah. And it's just kind of in there. And, people just, small film, just overlooked.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. At least that's what I think. I never forgot it. I was shocked when I found out other people didn't know what I was talking about.
Right.
So that's what led me to believe, to do my little post, because when I talk to people at certain movies and they don't remember some, I'm like, really?
Right.
Wow. So
Right.
that's my category of forgotten film. I didn't forget it. Most people have.
I think it's a forgotten film. The only real big name that was in it maybe have been that people would recognize, and especially from like the poster, if you saw only the poster, it's Kurt Russell, right? It's a Kurt Russell film. I don't think that's necessarily why it's a forgotten film. The poster doesn't tell you much. And if you watch the trailer, I don't know that it necessarily makes you want, it can't give away a whole lot. So it doesn't advertise how good this movie is. Does that make sense? But I agree with you. So many other classics came out that same year, and it just got buried, you know? I want to say I was working at the movie theater when this film came out, but I don't think it was at the theater that I was working at. So I didn't see it until it got to like HBO. And I watched it on HBO, and it's one of those I was just like stumbled across, and I was like, all right, I'll watch this. And then just, the next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, an hour and a half has gone by. It's a great film. So, I think it did get some of an audience, through HBO, but still, like, anytime I try to bring it up, most people never heard of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the casual moviegoer, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so should it remain a forgotten film?
No. I think more people should discover it.
I absolutely agree.
I know it's playing on Tubi.
Or not to be. It's also on Paramount Plus. That's why I said that.
And it's on Paramount Plus as well. Tubi is slowly becoming one of my favorite streamers. I love that thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Plus it's free.
Yeah. I'll tell you, this has really nothing to do with the movie, but Tubi, I don't mind commercials in things, but mostly it's on TV. If I'm watching a TV series, I don't mind commercials on it. I can get up and go change the laundry or, use the bathroom or do whatever, grab a drink. If I'm watching a movie that I am sitting down to watch a movie that I'm not just watching passively, I don't like commercials.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And on Tubi, there's that thing where it kind of cuts whenever it wants to.
Right. Yes. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. It's not like the scene ends.
Right.
And then they cut to a commercial. No, it's like mid-scene.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
It's like somebody will be talking and then commercial. And you're like, what? And then when it comes back, they pick up exactly where they left off.
Yeah.
So if they started a sentence, they finish the sentence.
So, okay. So if somebody likes this film, what are some other films that you would suggest?
I'm going to say Duel.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steven Spielberg's very first movie that he did. It was a TV movie back in 1971.
Very good too. Very good film.
About a trucker that's chasing after this poor guy all across the desert. And it's relentless. It's a relentless film. It's Jaws. Duel is literally
Jaws with an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one I will say. Duel.
I think The Hitcher is another one that they might watch. Another 80s film. What is it? 80.
It's
I
like
don't know.
87.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Rucker Hauer, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
C. Thomas Howell.
Yes.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. What a great movie.
See Thomas run while you're at it too. I'm pretty sure he does in that movie.
Runs a lot. Poor guy in that movie. Wow. And this movie breakdown, as far as relentless action, suspense, this is the movie.
Yep.
And it's short, 93 minutes, and it goes by just like
it does. And it's very satisfying.
And Kurt Russell has magnificent hair.
He does. And there's another character. I'm not going to, once again, ruin anything, but there's a character who has a hat on for most of it and then does a Pantene Pro V commercial, basically, when he removes his hat and he's got this long, luxurious hair. Once again, the 90s were a wild time, ladies and gentlemen, for guys with long hair.
I think they even slow-moed that.
Well, if they didn't, they should. And I sure did when I watched it. Oh, I'm going to rewind that. Okay. Well, did you have anything else to add?
No, I'm pretty set.
Yeah.
That's our breakdown of breakdown.
Yeah. Breakdown, shakedown, honey, something, 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 and they didn't use this song. But man, they should have. I don't know. That might have ruined it.
Maybe.
If they used a little too on the nose.
Maybe.
That's okay. Well, all right. Well, that's our very first breakdown of a forgotten film that just so happens to be the movie Breakdown. We hope you enjoyed listening and or watching the show, and we sure hope you come back and listen and or watch our next one. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you've got a movie that you think is a forgotten film, we'd love to hear from you. Once again, my name is Jed.
My name is Ray.
And this is Forgotten Films. We'll see you on the next one.